Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we always talk about streams of income, but I'm going to talk about tax write-offs when you are self-employed, whether you have a business, whether you have a corporation. These are going to be straight tax write-offs so you can save yourself some money. So let's just put it straight and simple. When you're a W-2 employee, you really don't have write-offs. You're going to pay your 20 to 25% tax. But when you're self-employed, you get to write off things such as your cell phone, such as your office in your house, the square footage. We're going to go over it briefly, and anything else you guys want to talk about today. It's live stream. Ask Eric B on a Sunday. So anyhow, welcome everybody. Stop struggling now. Gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. And as you know, when we run these live streams, you can ask questions, you can participate, you can give out information to help other people. That's what we do here at Stop Struggling Now. Because as a community, we can help each other grow. All right, how you doing today, Curtis Davis? C. Davis in the house. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. So today, we're going to talk about anything you want to, stock investments, real estate investments. But as you know, the title says tax write-offs for businesses. A lot of people don't understand how this works, but if you have your own business, you know there's a Schedule C. So we're going to talk about the Schedule C. And if you have any questions, like I said, you can type them down here in the comment. Welcome everybody on Facebook, people on Twitch, and of course, all those who are watching here on YouTube. Get other people to come and help and watch. But without further ado, I'm going to try and pull up an IRS page. Let me see if I can do it. I don't know if I'll be able to try. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to pull up an IRS page so everybody can see. Lord Trees app, welcome. 703. Right on. Right on. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for posting in the chat, Lord. Thank you. All right. So let's talk about it this evening. I'm going to add on the screen here Schedule C. For all those who are self-employed and all those who are not self-employed, who think things are harder than what they appear to be. You don't want to be into paperwork. You don't want to be into a lot of things that you do not understand. So today I'm going to unveil a little bit of something about the IRS. This is the profit and loss from business, a Schedule C. When you are running a business, you're going to be doing this Schedule C. And the beauty of a Schedule C is you get tax write-offs. This is how it all starts. So like I said, when you have your own business, when you're self-employed, you have things like a cell phone, you buy equipment, you buy computers, you buy a printer, you buy ink. All that is tax write-offs when you're self-employed. When you have a W-2 and you're not running a business, your ink, your printers, your phones, your office space in your home are not tax write-offs. So no, Curtis Davis, you do not need a Schedule C. If you notice in the upper right-hand corner, let me go look at this real quick. Upper right-hand corner, Social Security number. Notice it's asking you for your SSN. So you can run a business, self-employed, DBA, and still use tax write-offs with the IRS. As you can see here, right after the first name on here, right after name of proprietor, you have a Social Security number. Or you go down here, put in an EIN number, but you don't have to. So again, as long as you're conducting business, you can actually write it off, which most people don't take advantage of. They're sitting there sleeping. So look here. It's self-explanatory. Everything is just, you just go down the line. If you don't understand, there's plenty of places you can Google. You can also hit me up at Eric at StopStrugglingNow.com. And you can see easily here, gross receipts from sales. So if you made $50,000, then you just put on the line 1, that was your gross receipts. If you sold something and it was returned, let's say you sold, like we sell our gear, and then somebody said, hey, I don't like it. Okay, they return it. I get to add that in this line, and you can see subtract line 2 from line 1. So if I sold a t-shirt for $25, somebody returns the t-shirt for $25, it's going to show in my revenue that $25 plus all the other revenue we generated for the year. But because the t-shirt was returned, we're going to put that one t-shirt, $25 on line 2. That means right then and there, you can see it's whatever our revenue was, but minus, because we're going to subtract line 2 from line 1. So that gives us back, since it was returned, we get to subtract the $25. That's simple, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And then, of course, you just go down here, cost of goods sold, gross profit after everything's subtracted. Simple. Your gross income is going to be derived from that. So now here we go to expenses. This is where everybody starts losing their mind or do not take advantage of the situation with the IRS. Here is advertising. So some of you might say, hey, I advertise on Facebook, where you might do Facebook ads for FBA or Facebook ads for your business. You can deduct that cost. You run ads on any social media, you can deduct that cost right here with advertising. Some of you drive around for business. You're out there promoting your business, but are you recording the miles? Are you recording how far you go? Are you recording anything at all? The date? And you record. And then when your car has to go in for oil change, because you're using the vehicle for business, you may be able to deduct some of that. See these commissions and fees? You have affiliates or other people helping you sell something. You're giving them a commission because they sold it. Again, this is a write-off. Contract labor, another way to write something off. I have the landscapers come over because I have something to do with my office area has landscaping. I get to write these kind of things off. All right. And of course, if you have an employees, I'm going to go over this real quick. If you're offering insurance, you get to write that off. And some people, mortgage insurance paid to banks can be written off. And keep in mind, I'm going to use a simple example. Think of something like this. Think of something like this. You have a 2,000 square foot house. You pay $2,000 a month. Let's say that your office is 10 by 10, which is 100 square feet. Your office, which is dedicated for your business, you can write that off. These are the kind of things you can write off that people do not take advantage of. So what I'm trying to say is you can write off that 10% is 100 square feet is actually 5%. So 5% of 2,000 is $100 you can write off and put here legally. And if the IRS ever checks on you, does an audit, you can easily see that you will have no problem here because that is legal. It's 5% of your overall square footage, and that's your dedicated office. So that means you get to write it off. These are the kind of things that people don't understand. Legal and professional services. Some of that could have included when you went down to see an accountant, if you went down to see a lawyer, if you went down to deal with LegalZoom. That's all legal and professional services. When you talked on the phone and a company might have charged you for your setting up your books, that's legal and professional services. You get to write that off. What else can we talk about? Office expenses. We've already kind of talked about that. So again, you could write that off. Office expenses such as your computer, that could be written off. If you have a desktop, that could be written off. A monitor can be written off. Your microphone can be written off. Your webcams can be written off. Okay, pension and profit sharing plans. If you have that, rent or lease of vehicles, machinery, equipment. And here is why a lot of people don't understand how YouTubers work. A lot of you don't understand how YouTubers work here, because you can see in number 20, number A, you see rent or lease and you see vehicles. What you don't understand is when you're on YouTube or any social platform and you're saying that's your business, I have a lease, a car lease. I'm going to pay $1,500 a month for a Lamborghini. Okay? And some people are going, why are they buying cars every year, every 2 years? Because on line 20, number A, I can write off my lease payments. This is my business. On YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, I'm showing people about this car. We're adding wraps to the car. We're changing out the seats in the car. We're adding twin turbos on the car. We're driving around using the car from point A to point B to talk to other YouTubers or other people to do collaborations. All that can be written off. This is why these guys on YouTube and social media platforms, they can come out here and they buy these cars, which are actually leases. They're renting. That you can write off. They don't tell you they're leasing half the time, but that's what they're doing. So you have to understand, that's the nature of the beast here. All right? So if you're going to be in business, all of that you can write off. Okay, let's keep going. Other business properties, if you have machinery, like you're in the farming, or you're in landscaping, every time you go down and get a lawnmower, every time you go down and get a rake, every time you go down and get anything, even to keep lawns nicely furnished, and you go down and get some chemicals to put on lawns, you can write that off. All that's write-offs. Now, the same thing, I'll stay with the lawn care. My lawnmower breaks, I got to take it in, repairs and maintenance, I get to write off. You see, this is right here. Anyone can go down the list, and as long as you keep your receipts, as long as you know how you paid, that's why you always want to have a business account if you can set one up. But let's just say you're self-employed, you don't want to set up a business account. Well, you need to get your bank and tell them to give you a different prefix. So you can have your main banking account, you can have a main savings account. A bank normally will open up another account. They can do a DBA. They can do another account. And then just for you, if it's business, then you have to put money in that account for business. And you have to be able to write checks out of there for your business, or pay yourself out of that for business. So either way, you definitely have to keep a paper trail, and you have to treat it as business only. You can see line 21, repairs and maintenance, as we discussed. Number 22, supplies, which are not going to be included in part 3. So again, that ink, those computers, that printer, that paper, all supplies. Taxes and license. Some people have yearly taxes when you own an LLC. You're depending on where you're at. In California, it's $800 a year. In other states, Florida, it's like $70 a year. Georgia, I believe, is also around $60, $70 a year. Nevada, about $125 a year. You can write it off. If you need a license for your business, $50, $60, $75, $100 a year, you get to write that off. Travel and meals. Look at this, line 24. A lot of you go around. Some of you go to seminars. Some of you go to your business meetings, conventions, and all that. That's right off. You're self-employed. So if I got to go to Anaheim to the convention center, that's travel. And the meals that I'm there talking business, I get to write it off. And that's why on the receipts, what do you got to do? You have to write off the date, which the receipt has, the time, who you met with, and then it can be deductible because you're going to put on there what you talked about. And if it has to be business related. That meal can be written off. Travel can be written off only to a certain extent, because it used to be I could go out to Anaheim, hang out for a week, and write off almost all of it. But nowadays, it's almost like a 24, 48-hour period. You can't just write off anything and everything. Even though, again, whatever you're going to write off, you want to have a record, because if you get audited, you want to be able to give them, here's the dates, here's the time, here's the people I was talking to. You can verify. Because if you can't verify, the IRS is going to jack you. Now here, look at 24B, deductible meals. Do you see that in there? Again, you have to see the instructions, but it's basically going to tell you the same thing. It's going to say, hey, do you have, it has to be a legitimate, and they're going to give you the timelines on what you can deduct. They're going to tell you it has to be a business situation. You cannot deduct all meals. Just because I went to Anaheim near Disney and then I go over to Disney and I'm eating on Disney property, this has nothing to do with business. I can't write that off. Okay? But anything at the convention center, anything at the hotel, anything that I'm doing business with, and we're having our meetings after the convention, that's business too. We writing it off because we're self-employed. Utilities works the same way. If I can deduct 5% of that business, that office that I have at my home, that means I can deduct 5% of the utilities. So you take the whole year of your utilities, and if your utility bill is $2,000 for the year, you get to take off 5%. So you get to take off 100. You can put $100 in there, not have any problem. If you pay people wages, you get to take that off. And any other expenses you get to do on line 48. You total all that up. So then up top, you have your gross income minus your expenses. And that's going to leave you your net profit, your net loss. And this tells you which line to put it on your 1040. As you can see here, line 3, as you can see in line 31. Pretty simple, right? This is not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. This is the advantage that you have when you own a business. You get to write off all these things that you ordinarily are not writing off when you're a W-2 employee. That's right, C. Davis. The per diem, the hotel per diem, all that you get to write off. Keeps expenses separate in a little notebook. Keep the receipts, write everything down, because you want to make sure that there's no dispute when the IRS gives you an audit, or they come down 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later. You want to be able to keep all that, and you want to be able to show them that everything is legitimate. This is how the people have a downfall. That's right, Lord Trees. That's right. Platform Square, very simple. It records everything. Exactly. Except one thing, they don't record everything unless you're using Square to buy everything as well. Because keep in mind, when you're traveling, that could be expenses. When your cell phone is being used, that could be an expense as well. So keep in mind, there's certain things that's not going to have on it that you can take more advantage of. Like I said, it's not going to have your place of your office, or it doesn't even have to be an office, ladies and gentlemen, to get a write-off. You could have a little separate corner in your house that could be in your family room or your living room, and you dedicated an 8x8 space there because that's where your computer is, that's where a desk is, and that's where you're doing most of your business, a computer there. That little square footage can be written off percentage-wise on your taxes. So these are the kind of things that people do not think about that you can take advantage of. You want to be a 10%er? You want to be a 1%er? Then you have to do what 1%ers and 10%ers do, and you can't be scared. A lot of people are scared that they're going to get audited by the IRS, that they're going to have to deal with the IRS. The IRS is not a scary boogeyman. The IRS sends you a notice if they want to contact you. They'll send you a notice and say, hey, we see some things that are looking weird, but can we talk to you? It's not scary. You just don't avoid them. You can't just ignore them. You have to call up, or you respond and say, hey, okay, I'll come in. I'll show you my records. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? They're going to go, oh, hey, we're not going to take that deductible from you. We're not going to allow that expense. So your tax bill is an extra $1,000. But if you ignore them, then you get yourself in trouble. Because now they're sending you letters. You're not responding. They're saying you're evading or avoiding the tax. So now they start getting a little more serious after 2 or 3 years. All right. So these are the kind of things. Laura's Trees, I didn't know that Square sent you a business debit card. Kind of like PayPal. Excellent. Excellent. I did not know that because I don't do business with Square, actually. I've done business with them back in the day, but not anything new. I do basically PayPal because PayPal has been standard issue. I've been dealing with them for like 20 plus years. So, but anyhow, Square, I'm pretty sure Stripe might have the same thing. So that's all good. And in fact, Lord Trees, have you taken advantage of the Square Capital loan for businesses? Since you're doing business on Square because you don't have to qualify, let me know if you're taking advantage of that. So again, so we can talk about anything, ladies and gentlemen, but that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about today because that was the title. And when this video populates after this live stream is over, people can then go back and forth and see what I was talking about with regard to tax write-offs. Okay. And those are some of just the basics. That doesn't even get into if you have an accountant that's an aggressive accountant and you start going, hell, wait a minute. These clothes I'm wearing, those could be tax write-offs because that's a uniform. You have to start thinking outside the box, things that you don't even think is a write-off. Like right now, when I do these streams, I'm wearing Stop Struggling Now gear. All right. This has a value, $25. It's a write-off if you do it right. So it's pretty simple. Square, they have the reader that you put on your cell phone. I'm pretty sure that's how they did it, just like Stripe. But let's see. You helped me get a FICO score so right. I got to the SBA. You got your boy right. I've been a fan because we've been getting scammed for one. Debit cards. Remember the black? Yes, I do, Lord Trees. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things, man, back in the day. Somebody asked me how come I put out a video talking about Z Black, and they took offense to it. And like I tell everybody, I'm like, hey, money knows no color. And they were taking offense because Mr. Mason is black. And they said, Eric, why are you talking like that? Why don't you try to go behind the scenes or whatever? I said, hey, man, every step of the way, I sent him a message saying, hey, you can't do this with the bank. You can't do this with the credit card. You can't do this with the debit card. I told him, and I would send him over like the government rules and regulations. But then he would just send me back things like, okay, no worries, we got it covered. So I was telling him, hey, man, everything's not right. You just can't do what you're saying you can do. And so therefore, I tried to do it incognito way. But at the same time, I was sending people over to Z Black. That's the part that people don't understand. I was saying, hey, go sign up with him. So basically, my reputation's on the line when I'm telling somebody to go sign up with somebody. And when he's sitting there telling me, hey, I'm doing this or I can't do that. And then I'm sending them over the laws from the FTC, and I'm sending them over the stuff, how you start a bank. And I said, you can't do what you're saying, even though you got this guy on there telling people that you can start a bank and a credit union. And I'm giving him all the stuff that you need, like $500,000 in asset. And then that's for a credit union. You need like over $1 million for trying to do a bank. Plus you got to get charters. And I was sending him all this stuff. And he was like, nah, I got it all covered. These other guys are saying that they can get it done. And I was saying, you can't get it done. You can't bypass the work that you have to put in. And he's sitting there going, well, they tell me we can. And so I kept telling him, I was like, no. So then that's what happened after he kept sending me back this stuff. And then they didn't want to hear any what they call derogatory talk because the only way you could talk to them was on the Facebook page. And so I would type in the Facebook page, the same stuff. And then they would try to erase it and things like that. So then eventually I just got tired of him ignoring it. And meanwhile, we had people signing up and he's promising things like, we're going to get you a trade line. We're going to open a bank. We're going to do all this stuff. And I was like, you can't do this stuff. And so that's why I finally was just like, I'm done. I'm out. And then that's when I told people about it. But those are the kind of things that you deal with the IRS. When you don't know something, you just don't ignore it. You go find out. If the IRS sends you a letter, you got to call them. You got to go see them. You got to do whatever you got to do because the IRS can affect your life. They can take stuff from you. They can go to your bank account and take it. If they say you owe $5,000, they'll go to your bank account after a few years and take it. All right. Lord Trace. That's right, man. Exactly. And I was sending him actual FTC banking guidelines, credit union guidelines. It was crazy. And he was sitting there going, like, what I was sending him was like, I was like, this is the real stuff. I said, I've been down this path before. I said, I was trying to tell him, I said, I was thinking about doing a bank and all that like 20, 30 years ago. But then I found out how hard it was. And that's why there's only a certain amount of banks. This is why there's only a certain amount of credit unions. And this is why some banks have to basically get other banks in. So as an individual trying to start a bank, it's a long road. It's not going to, you can't do it in 2 months. You can't do it in 3 months. And that's what I was trying to tell him when he was promising people we're going to get this done in 6 months. I said, this is going to be a year. And he's telling people, no, we're going to do this. So anyhow, enough about that. But that's all it is. All right. Fred Fox Sanford about the IRS. Exactly. Exactly. Wesley Snipes also. Okay. Speaking of taxes, you got to get something straight, ladies and gentlemen. In case you make money outside of the United States, if you're an American citizen, you are monetized. That social security number they gave you, you are now a monetized individual. That's why they give you a social security number. That's money to them. Okay? So when you make money, if I make money in Aruba, if I make money in Europe, if I make money in Asia, because I'm an American citizen, you have to pay tax on any money, any income you get, no matter what the jurisdiction is. All right? And then you say, some of you might be thinking in your head, how is it that Amazon, Apple, all these guys don't pay taxes? Well, because they open up offshore business accounts, offshore businesses in different jurisdiction. So they're going to have an office in the UK, which is in Europe. Their business, now keep in mind, you're not an individual, you're a business. Their business collects money in Europe. They keep the money in Europe as an American business. Since they do not bring the money back to America, they don't have to pay taxes. So these guys have like billions of dollars sitting in Europe, billions of dollars wherever their banking industry is. It could be in the Caribbean, the Cayman Islands. That's where all their money could be sitting right now. But soon as they bring that money over as a business into the United States, they have to pay taxes on it. So this is how they get away with paying taxes from around the world. All right. Now, as an individual, you can do the same thing. If you wanted to go on your trip down to the Caribbean, for instance, open up a bank with your new LLP in Aruba, I'll use Aruba, or Bahamas, it don't matter, or Grand Cayman Islands, it don't matter. Now, all the business you do for the rest of the world, you say, send to this bank account in the Cayman Islands. That money nobody knows about, and it's in a business name. Every time you leave the country, you can use that money, but you can never bring it in America without paying taxes. I'm giving you guys some slick stuff now. This is the stuff they don't want the people to talk about. But every time I used to play poker, as some of you may or may not know, and I traveled all over the world. So what I would do is when I got to a different country that I liked, I would go to the bank and open up a bank account. Because any money that I send to that bank account isn't recorded in the United States, nor does the IRS, nor does the United States government have any way to track it. That's right. So keep that in mind. All right. This is what the big boys do. The big guys who don't pay taxes in America, but yet sell hundreds of millions, trillions of dollars worldwide, and they have zero in taxes. Go figure. But that's because they're a business. That's because they're an LLC or a corporation. So keep these kind of things in mind. So if anybody has any questions about anything, we can talk credit, we can talk investments, we can talk about real estate, we can talk about making money, affiliate marketing, FBA. So after this live stream. I don't have anything in the description this evening because I went out to eat and I just got back just in the nick of time to do the live, actually. So I didn't put anything in the description. So if anybody sees this in about an hour, then I will have things in the description like FBA. All right. That's right. That's right, C. Davis. Aruba. All right. And by the way, the little, if anybody ever goes to Aruba, they have the warmest water ever. Unbelievable. It's like the water's like 85 degrees and clear. It's awesome. The rest of Aruba, okay, it's just a third world country island. I mean, what can you say? Just like Bahamas, just like anything else, Haiti, Dominican Republic, whatever. Yes, Curtis Davis. So his business lease boats, cars, buildings with no tax penalty. Exactly. Exactly. You got it exactly right, man. This is why a lot of YouTubers and people who are on social media in Instagram and who's on TikTok and who's all over, this is why they go out here and just buy stuff, because if they make like $500,000 a year, it does them no good to buy a car for let's say we'll go a Lambo, 200,000. It's no good to buy that, but it's much better if they put down 50,000 and then pay $2,000 a month, because that's all tax write-off. You go out and get a yacht and you pay $5,000 a month. That's a tax write-off, especially when you show it on your channel and you're making like 500,000 a year, 200,000 a year, whatever the case may be, 100,000 a year. You get to write that off. And now it's part of your business because you're showing that the yacht and you're showing people about boating, you can write it off. And also the supplies. So when you're putting gas in there, that's write-off. When there's maintenance, that's a write-off. All of it, it's a write-off. So that's why you always see the guys, they'll do things that people don't really notice that they might change up every 2 years, because most leases are 2 or 3 years. And then you might notice that they don't really drive the cars long distances normally on a lease, because you only have like a couple of thousand miles a year or 5,000 miles a year. So that's why they'll drive around the city short, 10 miles here, 5 miles there, because their lease, once you go over your 2,000 a year, now you're paying some ridiculous money, like $50 a mile, $100 a mile when you go over your lease in these high-end vehicles. And so that's why you'll see that oftentimes where people change cars or change boats or whatever they do for their channels or for their Instagrams or whatever. This is why you'll see that every 2 or 3 years they'll change vehicles. And then people are thinking that they sold it or they did something. But no, they're on leases, so they're write-offs. So that their time's up. They don't want to buy the car. They just get a new lease, a new car, which is updated. And now we have more content for the channel or for their program that they're trying to do. Yeah, DR. No, you can. I don't know if they have that 30-day cutoff right now, but I do know that they do have. You have to show that you have some monies coming in. C. Davis and DR. If you're going to stay there, you got to show them that you have, like, it's not much, man. I think it's like $2,000, $2,500 a month, something like that. It's not that much. Do you have any AU lines? I need about 2 sometime this week. No problem, Lord Trees. Just go here, man. I'll put it in for you. Just go to the Stop Struggling Now channel. I mean, the website. And then you just go to Stop Struggling Now on the page. And I'll put it in the chat. So you can just get this direct link to the AU trade lines. You can click the top of the column, and the top of the column will show you for the AU trade lines. You can click the top of the column, and then it'll give you the high and the low. So for instance, if you want to know what the soonest trade line you can get, which will probably be like September 3rd or 4th, then it'll show. You can click the top of the column, report by date, or purchase by date is what you want to do. On the purchase by date, click the top of the column for the AU trade line, and then it'll show you the soonest one. All right, and then it'll start going down the list: September 3rd, September 5th, September 7th, September 10th, and it'll just keep going down. Keep in mind, everybody who wants an AU, the sooner it is, the more people want it. The second to the last column on the AU trade lines page is how many spots are left. And so what happens is you end up with about 10 people all of a sudden going, hey, man, I want an AU trade line real fast, and I want it to report by September 20th. Well, now you got 10 people looking at September 5th cutoff date, and now there's only one spot left. So oftentimes you'll have people who are going, hey, I just saw it, and now it's gone. And that's how quick it can go when you're trying to do last minute. So you have to be on point. If you want an AU, I'm going to need the front and back of your ID card or driver's license. I'm going to need the front of your social security card, which is going to have to be in color. And I got to send you over a DocuSign agreement. And the only way you can make payment for an AU trade line is Zelle, Walmart to Walmart, MoneyGram, or Western Union. That's the only options. And you have to pay in full. We don't do a payment plan. All right. And the AU trade line only stays on for 2 to 3 months. It's going to hit 2 reporting periods. So generally you have 90 days. And then some people say, hey, can I add on another 2 or 3 months? Yes, you can. But you have to make a decision at the end of 30 days. You can't wait until 60 days. So at the end of 30 days after the first report, then you have to decide if you want to add, and generally it's half price to add the additional 3 more months. All right. So that's pretty much it. What is the, retired military friends, they do stay past 30 days. Exactly. What is the best method to leverage Alibaba? Welcome, Jesse Gibson. What is the best method to leverage Alibaba to support an FBA business selling electronics? All right. I'm not really into the FBA thing, so to speak, but we're just going to talk about business. Okay, Jesse, the reason why you see, I'm just going to say it like it is. The reason why you see a lot of people now selling Amazon FBA courses and Alibaba, AliExpress type courses is because now it's a race to the bottom for selling items. It's not like it was like 5 years ago. There's so millions of people are in there. So when you find a product on Alibaba or AliExpress, and then you try to open or sell it on Amazon, you can see on Amazon how much other people are charging, and everybody's getting the products from the same sources. So the prices are almost the same. So it's almost like, how much profit do you want? That's pretty much it. So the leverage part is you can go to Alibaba or AliExpress, you make an agreement. Some of them have United States shippers. So some people order from these FBA Amazon guys and it takes 3 to 4 weeks or 6 weeks, where others get their stuff in a week. And there's a reason. You have to make sure they have shippers in the United States if that's where you're shipping to, is the US. And that'll help you out greatly. So how you leverage it is you go talk to the guys. They'll at Alibaba or AliExpress, you just find out what their criterias are. All right? Because you don't really have to do anything. All you have to do is set up your Amazon page and then put it on Amazon for a price. And so then you can either determine if you're going to buy it from the seller, the wholesaler in China, or how you're going to have it shipped. All that can be after you receive payment. But you have to know before that, because you want to get items to people fast as possible. That's the trick. So that's how you leverage it. It's pretty simple. It's not that hard. But what I'm going to do is, Jess Gibson, in about an hour, I'll have an FBA course, a free FBA course link, courtesy of David Quintieri. You can check his course out for free. All right. And in fact, Jesse, I don't know if I can do this, but let me see if I can. I'm going to try and Jesse Gibson. I'm putting it in chat right now, so you don't even have to wait 2 hours. TheAmazonGPS.com. All right. I put it in chat. That's where you have to go, everybody. If you want to learn about the get a free Amazon FBA course, go see his. All right. It's free, not charging. All right. Etsy works as well. All right. My Jewelers, waiting on report. Excellent. Okay, Curtis Davis. A lot of people are waiting on My Jewelers. So while we're talking about My Jewelers, if you want to boost your credit score, you got to get the $5,000 My Jewelers card. Now, you have to order by the 19th of the month. All right? If you order by the 19th of the month, My Jewelers reports between the 7th through the 14th of the following month. So right now, if you ordered My Jewelers right now, because you're after the 19th, it will not report September 7th through the 14th. If you order tomorrow, then the soonest it's going to report is October 7th through the 14th, because you have to go all the way to the 19th of the month. If you order before that, then it's the following 7th through the 14th of the month for My Jewelers and New Coast Direct. And I'll have both of those links after this live stream is over down below in the description as well, along with Ox Publishing, along with Hutton Chase. And a lot of people don't know that you can get soft inquiry credit cards to help you with boosting your credit score. So I have a video that you're going to have to go check out the channel. I don't have it. I'll probably post it in the description after this live stream is over as well. But if you do a search within the channel, put in no hard inquiry or soft inquiry, and you'll see how I did the Victoria's Secret shopping cart method. And again, if you're going to try that method, you want to make sure you're actually shopping for at least 5 minutes like a normal person would. And about 50% of the people will get the pop-up that says you have qualified for a credit card. So with a soft inquiry, not a hard inquiry. So if 50% of the people will get that pop-up, and then everybody usually asks, well, do you have to order the items that you have in the cart? No, you do not. You have to, though, accept their offer and hit finish. Okay? You just, the pop-up isn't good enough. You have to keep going and say okay and finish. And then 7 to 10 days later, either you will get a card in the mail. Well, 7 to 21 days later, you'll either get a card in the mail or you'll get a letter from Community Bank. That's who backs them. Community Bank. And the Community Bank letter will say, we need your front and back of your ID. We need the front and back of your Social Security card. You mail that to them, and then within 2 weeks, they'll send you your Visa, or not Visa, but your Victoria's Secret pink credit card, whichever one they do. So anyhow, that's how you can get a credit card, soft inquiry, and it's pretty simple. So again, just do a search and you'll find it. All right. Great job, Curtis Davis. Hopefully, since you have a client, hopefully you're a affiliate of My Jewelers. If not, you need to send me a message, because then you can get paid every time somebody signs up. Oh my God, how can I forget about speaking of that? All right. You're welcome, Jess. You're welcome, Jesse Gibson. Hopefully that can help you out. All right. All right. That's right. U.S. shippers is what you want. Yes. Hey, Lord Trees app. Somebody, I don't know if it was you or not, somebody sent me a message asking me about that, get that jewelry. I don't know if they're real, quite frankly, and I haven't had the time to check them out because I'm trying to, deal with the guys that we're dealing with now. My Jewelers, New Coast, Ox Publishing, Hutton Chase, Discover It, Self Lender, Credit Strong. Those are the guys I'm dealing with. Get that jewelry. I'm probably going to have to order something to find out. All right. The Tomo card, the new fintech cards. That's right. Everybody who sees this. Okay. Fintechs, ladies and gentlemen. I did a video about that. What was it? The last video I did, I think, was on fintech cards. The reason why fintechs are going to be good. And a lot of people who have Square, Stripe, PayPal will appreciate this, because when you have money coming through an account, which is going to be called revenue based, and it's personal, you don't have to have a business account. When you have a personal account, you're making $5,000, $3,000, $10,000 a month. They're going to give you credit based on your revenue. At least that's what they're saying. This is all now in beta. It's all now in test modes with a few people. They're actually seeing how it works, but you get a Visa card, and the money that you have rolling through your account, they'll give you a credit limit. So Tomo link, there'll be one down below after the live stream's over. And you request for the beta wait list. Tomo has the wait list. The Tomorrow card, TOMO, they're going to have a wait list. Also, you can go to, I'm going to have a list of others, and I'm going to have down below in the description some other fintechs that they have a beta, like credit.ai. That's a beta right now. So all you can do is request. They're not fully operational, but you want to be in on the ground floor, because this is going to help a lot of people if they're able to pull this off. Because you're having to deal with the credit score when the credit bureau's best interest to make sure that you have bad credit or make sure you have dings on your credit. Just like when you try to do 6 inquiries, you know, you try to do a car loan, then you get a couple credit cards. After you do 4, when you do your 5th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th and 8th, they're trying to deduct points off your credit just because you're trying to apply for credit. That's ridiculous. So that's how they try and keep your score down, because you're going to pay higher interest the lower your score is. So now these new fintech cards, they're going to sit there and they're going to be trying to give out loan money or credit lines based on how much money you have going through your personal account, not business, but personal. That could be a game changer. So I'm trying to get you to sign up with all these companies that haven't come out yet and get on the wait list, except there is a Brex, BREX. They're already operational, but you got to be you have to be making $5,000 a month or more if you're going to deal with Brex. And then, so there's nothing to it. A lot of people make $60,000 a year or more. All right. Credit Strong, Darnell Anthony, thank you. Welcome to the live stream. Muzra, welcome to the live stream. I'm going to go with Muzra first. Will the S&P close higher tomorrow? I have no idea, Muzra. Nobody can know, but I will tell you this. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys something. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to go to, let's do it this way. I'm going to go to a pre-market. I'm going to use CNN, money.cnn.com. I'm going to go there. Okay, so the answer is, well, let's just call it what it is. Let's go see. I'm going to add it to the stream so you can tell me. All right? So sometimes people are trying to figure out in the morning, or even today, you find some people who make these predictions that the S&P, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ is going to be higher tomorrow. And some people may not understand how they figure that out. Well, this is how they figure it out. There's pre-market. Okay, you can see this on the screen here. And on pre-market, S&P is plus 1935 right now, but that doesn't mean that can't change tomorrow. But I will say this, NASDAQ is 99 and Dow Jones is 166. They're all rising. NASDAQ and S&P are at record levels. And Dow Jones is lagging behind them, but I have a feeling that Dow Jones is going to catch up, because that's how the 1%ers work. They don't lose. All right? And hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't downloaded Webull and Robinhood, you need to do that right now. In the links down below, once this is done, we're going to have Webull and Robinhood. In fact, I'm going to try and do something in the background while I have this on the screen, because I want everybody to see that I'm at money.cnn.com, and you can see the pre-market trading. What's going to happen is an hour from now, you can refresh the page, or sometimes you don't have to refresh the page, and you will see these numbers will go up or down. All right? So now that's how you know what's based on what's going to happen tomorrow morning at open. All right? And then during the course of the night, like at 4 a.m. Eastern time, if you're on Webull, you can actually do trades at 4 a.m. From 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern, you could be doing trades, extended hours. All right? So these are the kind of things that you can do. And I'm going to go look for some. In fact, here I'm going to be putting some things down in the chat, because like I said, this live stream, I don't have the, let's see here. Here's Tomo that I'm going to add here into the live stream. So disregard what you hear. But I'm going to go here, and this is going to be Tomo of FinTech, ladies and gentlemen. Please sign up using this link. You're going to be on a wait list. All right? That's Tomo. And Muzra, I didn't mean to sidestep you, but is it going to close higher tomorrow? I have no idea. You have to pay attention to the news and the information you can get from whatever news source, whether it's CNBC, whether it's Wall Street Journal, whether it's CNN. It doesn't matter. Wherever you're getting your information, Yahoo Finance, wherever, Seeking Alpha, you just have to do an educated guess. But because investing is long term, it doesn't matter if it goes higher or lower tomorrow. What you want to really be in is, you want to really be, in my opinion, I've talked about this before. What you really, if you're doing stock investments, you want to be in artificial intelligence. You want to be in the 5G space. You want to be in the cloud space. You want to be in a few autonomous driving space, electric vehicle space. These are the things of the future. And that's why Amazon, Apple, Tesla, that's why they get to enjoy this wild ride that keeps going up. And by the way, Amazon, Tesla, and all of them, I mean, Tesla and Apple are splitting tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to advise you, please, buy either Tesla or Amazon. If you have Robinhood, then you can buy fractional shares. All right. So even if you don't have the 100, in fact, they've already split for tomorrow. They're $125.50 right now for Apple, and Tesla, I believe, was $453. So in the morning, if you have Webull at 4 a.m., you can buy those shares at those prices. Now, just so everybody knows what happened in the past in 2014 when Apple split, their stock price was split at like around 90 or 80, upper 80s. It went down to $75 intraday trading. So don't be surprised that the stock from Apple or Tesla, that like Apple goes from 125 down to 115. Don't be shocked. And at the same time, it could go up because the same things that were in play back then are not in play now. Back then, they didn't have Robinhood and Webull. There's millions of people on Robinhood and Webull, and on Robinhood, you can buy fractional shares. So even if somebody doesn't have the 125, they might have $10. They might have 25. They might have 50. They might have 75. They can put that money in to buy Apple, which will help boost their stock price, in my opinion. So I'm just letting you know, if the stock does dip, don't be shocked that it does that. Don't panic. That's just what a normal thing that used to happen. But like I said, now we have millions of people on Robinhood, and they can buy fractional shares. So this is what has actually contributed to Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Microsoft, all these tech companies rising so fast, because people don't have to buy the full share prices. So just keep all that in mind. All right. Is this the asset-based lending? Yes, Curtis Davis. That's what the fintechs are going to be doing. All right. Here's Credit AI, everybody. I put it in the chat for you. Go sign up and get on their list as well. How is Credit Strong? Darnell Anthony, thank you for asking that question. Credit Strong, no problem. They're basically, Credit Strong is an installment trade line, and they're awesome. So it's basically whatever you want to pick, the 1,000, the 5,000, the 9,000, the 18,000 trade line, and you can stop anytime you want. And Credit Strong and Self-Lender work the same way. You pay some money in, part of the money goes towards a savings account. Self-Lender has a secured credit card, so you can use part of your savings to get a secured credit card to add a second reporting trade line on your credit report. All right. So Credit Strong and Self-Lender, they're installment trade lines, almost like it is. It's like a car. It's like a house, a mortgage. Your payment is reported every month, and it's an installment loan, and it has nothing to do with your debt utilization. All right. But it has to do with your on-time payment history. And it's just another, because remember, you want to at least have 10 or 11 accounts reporting on your credit report. All right. Just keep that in mind. That's all you need to do. It doesn't matter what your credit limits are. You just need 10, 11, 12, 13. The more you have, up to somewhere between 10 and 15 is good. After that, you can do whatever you want. You can do overkill if you like. All right, let's see. We have some more going on here. Do I have to opt in? Life Media, welcome to the live stream. Glad to see you again, man. I don't know what you mean, opt into what. There's nothing that you have to opt into as far as I know. But let me know exactly, specifically what you're talking about as far as opting in. All right, Lord Trees. I wonder, will Get Company be able to actually handle all of these applications? Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Yeah, that's why they're doing it the way they're doing it, kind of making a slow rollout. Curtis Davis, some credit union banks ding you on TransUnion and Equifax inquiries. Exactly. That's what they have to do, because they're trying to get your score down lower, because the lower your score is, the higher interest rates they can charge you. That's why the fintech banks I love, and I'm hoping they can pull off what they need to pull off, because that would free up a lot of people, would be able to get loans and credit lines, and that would help out a lot of people. Tomorrow, the big day, Apple Tesla trade 4-1. That's right, Apple 4-1, Tesla 5-1. And yes, I will be buying more shares of Apple and Tesla tomorrow. It's mandatory. Whenever a stock splits, and by the way, Trex, Trex is splitting 2-1. It's mandatory, though. Apple and Tesla, I love. Trex is actually a pretty good company as well. But Apple and Tesla, their split is so big, 4-1 and 5-1, that ultimately I think their price value is going to rise, simply because people have seen these astronomical numbers before they split. So it just seems like psychologically they're going to rise, and over the course of time they're going to rise anyhow. They're making, well, Apple, in the case of Apple, they're making billions of dollars a year. Tesla, they're about to bring it, and I have a feeling that they're going to have that 500 mile, 750, that what they're calling a 1,000,000-mile battery. They might pull something off, and I think that's what Musk is going to do. You know how he does it when they have their big meetings, and if he pulls that off, the stock is going to rise up instantly, because if you can drive your car one charge 800 miles, 1,000 miles, now that means the car is just like a normal gas car at this point, because gas cars can't even go that far on a single tank of gas. But when you start going one charge and I can go 800 miles, that's a long way. And you're saying 3 charges, I can go from coast to coast. That's pretty impressive, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to watch out. And Tesla is not a car company. They make cars. They're a tech company that makes cars. So you got to keep that in mind. And that's why their price could go through the roof, even at this point. All right. So you got to get yourself some shares tomorrow, whether it's in the morning, whether it's in the afternoon. Please get some shares tomorrow. Earlier, the better. But again, I'm personally going to wait. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to wait until a few hours goes by to see if I can get something down here at 120, 115 during the intraday. I'm going to keep waiting, because I don't mind paying a little bit more. I know the price is going to go up, fluctuate over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 days, but that's all right. We'll make it happen. All right. I've asked 27 people on Twitch, and you've given the most competent answer. If you go on IG.com, you can trade now on SP500 futures. I'm not familiar with that, Muzra. IG.com. So you can trade futures right now. That's great news, because I wonder what the futures are for Apple and Tesla right now. That'd be interesting, because that right there would tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. All right. Eric, have you seen CNE forecast for stock price target info? Oh, man, I've seen it all over the map. If we're talking about Tesla and Apple, Tesla, I've seen people talking about Tesla as high as $7,000 a share based on the $2,500 a share price. That is insane. And I saw other people talk about $10,000 a share for Tesla when it was $2,200. It's only $2,200 right now, and they're talking about $10,000 for Tesla. Here's the thing. If Tesla can sell more cars, once this China thing is done, they can open up the Chinese market and be on the Asian continent, and they can get their prices down by another $10,000 per car and put it into 30,000 territory for one of their cars, another one for 50 and another one for 80, 90. It's game over. And if you can go 800 miles on a single charge, it's game over, because now they can sell cars, and now a bunch of them, and their cars are autonomous, and they have the big iPad in the car. And now they can add other things too. The more cars they sell, the more they can start adding these extra options that's going to make it like cozy. So they have a real big upside. All right, let's see what else we got. Dave Sincere, welcome to the live stream, man. Glad to see you. Glad to see you again. Thank you for your support. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say thank you for your support and thank you for being here, because you could be anywhere on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. So don't forget that we have a join button. So when you look and see our join button, that's a membership button. I send special messages just to members only. I haven't done a video, and now it's going to be one day tomorrow. So I'm going to do a video tomorrow just for members only. These are the kind of things that I do just for members only. So please join and support the channel. There's a join button there, and we have you have certain emojis that you can use. You have an icon next to your name. Like you'll see Curtis Davis has an icon next to his name. He's a member, so thank you very much, Curtis Davis. Appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Greetings from the ATL. Dave Sincere, I'm going to be in the ATL pretty soon, man. And I found some property, in case you haven't seen that live stream, Fairburn. I found something over in something called Les Jardins, where I can pick up lots for under $50,000 and possibly build a house and sell it for around $500. So this is kind of cool. But anyhow, I'll be dealing with some family up in that area. Lord Trees, Levi is really doing good. Me, oh, I looked out for you, bro. I stay sharing your link, bro. Thanks, man. Lord Trees, I appreciate your support. And hey, I commend you for trying to help other people as well. Because, you know, a lot of people don't care. They don't listen. They have a lot of noise coming in, and they don't hear from anybody else. You know, I mean, it's like in America, it's like people got to drive a Lambo or a freaking Porsche or something before, or live in a big ass house before somebody thinks that you know what you're talking about. That's the funny thing. So all you can do is send people information and hopefully that they get it. And that's about all you can do. So good for you, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. And I appreciate you doing your part, trying to help out other people, because rising tide lifts all boats. All right. Now, before I forget, I got to get you guys this links over here, right? I didn't want to. Here's what I wanted to get to. I can't find it yet. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I was talking about Robinhood and Webull. I'm putting them in the chat right now. Here's the link to Robinhood. This gets you a free share of stock. All right. So please get the link, because I don't have it in the description at the moment. So get your free share of stock. All you have to do is use my link. Go on hopefully if you're on your phone or even if you're on your computer, use the link, sign up. You verify your email address, link your bank account. That's all you have to do. You do not have to upload any money. You will get a free share of stock 7 to 10 days later. But here's the thing. In the app, go to the free share of stock. Then you click on there and you will find that you have a link. And you can share your link with other family members, other friends. And when somebody else gets a free share of stock, you also will get a free share of stock. All right? So this is affiliate marketing at its finest. You know we got to have streams of income. You know you have to make extra money. So this is a way that Robinhood helps you. Webull does the same thing. All right? They do the same exact thing. So that's what you want to do. And speaking of Lord Trace, speaking of Levi, I actually have Levi. They're staying steady. I like that. They're growing just slowly but surely, like off in the cut. They're just like hardly anybody pays attention to them, because I believe the stock price is somewhere in the 20s. It's like 26, I think it is. 24, 25, 26, somewhere in there. So, in fact, we're doing a live stream. Let's go check it out, right? Levi stock. Let's pull it up. Let's check it. I'll go pull it up for us, man. Let's go look at this. I can't get there. Computer's not cooperating. Levi stock. There you go. All right. Oh, $12.89. A lot lower than I remembered, but I have some of that stock. Let's go check. Can you guys see that? I don't think you can. No, you can't. Oh, wait, maybe you can. Let me go see. Yes, you can see it. All right, here's Levi stock shares, ladies and gentlemen. Thank the Lord Trees. So it's just sitting really. It's not really doing much. It just stays kind of, hovers 1697, drop down to during the pandemic, 690, back up to, that's percentages. I don't want that. Back up to 1289, 16. So it's hovering in a nice spot. And you get dividends, 2.48%. So you can't complain about that. So it's just a Levi Strauss company. No problem with them. Although, let's put it in perspective. Everybody knows I like T. All right? Everybody knows that's AT&T. AT&T. And you see why, 6.92% dividend. So that's why I say that's the go-to stock from Jump Street. All right? That's what I tell everybody to get first. Not saying that's the best. Not saying that's the place, you can do your own due diligence and research. But I'm just saying for just a standard company, AT&T is not going anywhere. So it's pretty much safe and sound. So you know how you get it. And that's how we do it. So we start out with that. Jumped on Amazon in February. Oh, my God. Lord Trees, you did a great job, man. Glad to hear you got some of that tech money coming in. You got an upside with Amazon. That's beautiful. New money in the stock market boost everyone. That's exactly right, Curtis Davis. That's exactly right. And that's what's going to happen tomorrow with Apple and Tesla. Apple is about to get sued about the company that owns Fortnite. Yeah. You know how these guys do it, man. They're going to settle out of court. Apple's got billions of dollars sitting on the sidelines. They'll settle it out of court or they'll put them back on. Either way, they're not going to lose their whole. They're not going to lose, man. That's not how it works. These guys are worth $2 trillion. And so whatever the cost is, they'll pay it. They don't have no problem. Even if it's $1 billion, they'll pass that off. They got it. It's no problem. They're worth $1 trillion, $2 trillion. So that's not going to be a problem. But I hope it's a problem on the stock market, though. That'd be nice. That would mean the stock would go down tomorrow, which means we can buy some more shares, right? All right, credit.com, Vantage Score Report. Yeah, credit.com, that's nice. I hear you, Curtis Davis. Anyone use Stockpile? Dimples, 257, thank you for being here. No, I do not use Stockpile. I'm just slightly familiar with it. I looked at it, but it seems nice to me. It helps, if it helps you get more research, helps you track stocks, all the more better. Curtis Davis, I agree with you. It's funny when Apple first said that they were splitting, and it's funny, I mentioned in another live stream, I would not be surprised if I see Tesla also split. I wouldn't be surprised if Amazon splits. I wouldn't be surprised if Google splits. And sure enough, Tesla did their part. Now let's see if Amazon and Google and all those guys do their part. All right. Tesla has car plants in 3 countries. That's correct. Exactly, Curtis Davis. Exactly. And in September, next month, they're going to do that. Everybody's anticipating 1 million mile. People are talking about 1 million mile battery. So that would be an awesome situation. Like I said, and that would make their stock more valuable as well. And that's why some people are putting their stock at $7,000 a share, $10,000 a share pre-split. So now that it's split down to 435 or 453, I think it is, that's the equivalent of basically almost double. So they're talking about $1,500 for a $7,000 price. They're talking almost like $2,500 because they split 5 to 1. So $2,000 would be the equivalent of a $10,000 share price. So going from 453 to 2,000 all over again, that's what some people are predicting, which is amazing. Yeah, and they have battery plants over in China too, Curtis Davis and everybody. Tesla has, they started their gigafactory in China. So again, they're going to be on that continent. So now you can only see what's going to happen from there. China has like the number 1, number 2 port over there for shipping. So you can see what's going to happen. They're very smart for doing that, as in any car company being on that continent, because now you can get your product out to that part of the world quicker, faster. Oh, Life Media Pro, you did the shopping cart trick. All right, I'm glad to hear it worked. Like I said, only 50% of the people get that shopping cart trick. All right, let me put in the, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I put in the link for Webull. I put in the link for Robinhood in the chat. So go look for it if you can't find it. Go get that. And now I'm going to put the link in the chat for Webull. And by the way, Webull, you only have 2 days. All right? You only have 2 days with Webull. If you sign up with Webull right now, you get a free share of stock. And again, you have to verify your email address, and all you have to do is also link your bank account. That's it. You don't have to throw money in there. But when it hits September 1st, you're no longer going to get a free share of stock for signing up with Webull. They're cutting that off. Of course, they're going to bring it back probably in a month or two. But the fact of the matter is, why not get your free share of stock? I don't understand why you wouldn't do that. All right. So here it is. I put it in the chat. So you can go download the app right now and get your free share of stock. All right. All right. Tesla and Target. Oh, yeah. Target. Thanks, Curtis Davis. Tesla and Target stores are partnering on Supercharge. Exactly. I forgot about Target. Ladies and gentlemen, Target's a sleeper. Target is making big moves behind the scene. They don't do big splashes, but these guys are making economic and financial moves. They're buying companies. They're partnering up with companies. They are like going to be big time. So they're already big time, but they're making moves that I love. So also think about investing in the stock market. You have to think about Target as well. Thanks, Curtis Davis. Eric, I know the Fairburn area, nice in ATL, new movie studios. Ha, ha, ha. That's right. The movie studios is right up the street. Exactly. And that's why some parts of Fairburn, again, when I was looking through the Trazon, Trazon, when I looked through Trazon.com for the auction, and I found this auction in Seymour Estates, the homes in Seymour Estates range from about 190 to 250. But a subdivision over, they're selling homes for $450,000, $500,000, $600,000, and the lots are less than $50,000, which means that's a perfect construction flip, $100,000 to $200,000 profit. How do you come up in life? This is one way. We talk about making money. There's so many ways you can make money. I can't even keep it straight half the time. But this is a way to make money. So when I'm up in the ATL, I'm going to Fairburn, and I'm going to go check this large Jardine. In fact, what am I talking about? Why don't I just show people what we're talking about here? I got a screen. Let's go. We're going to go to Trazon auction. So let's see here. Let me, they don't want to cooperate. All right. Computer doesn't want to cooperate. That's cute. But anyhow, Trazon.com. This is going to be an auction, so everybody may not understand what I'm referring to. Let me go get this on screen. Oops. Okay, I blew it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Trazon. Real estate auction. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're going to be at Trazon. So here we are. This is an auction site. And let's see if I can find that in Fairburn. Let's see, Atlanta. And I stunned up, here we are, Seymour Estates. This is coming up for auction September 10th. All 10 lots. The bidding starts at $53,000 for all 10 lots. And just so you know, I am not advocating buying these lots because I believe buying them at it's going to cost you $6,000 after you pay the 10% buyer premium and the 250 the document fees. The minimum, even if somebody bid $53,000, each lot is worth $6,000. The problem is it costs you $90 a square foot to build a house. A 2,000 square foot house in this neighborhood is only worth $200, $225. So if it's going to cost you $180 to build a 2,000 square foot house, then you don't have much room. So this is how it all happened. And you can see a previous video where I went over this. And then I found a lot because this lady named Cheryl Dukes, she sent me stuff to Lejardin. I think it's Lejardin in the Fairburn area, except in their subdivision, homes are worth twice as much as the Seymour Estates homes. All right. So that's the beauty of it. You can buy a lot for $50,000. You can build yourself a 3,500 square foot house for $270,000, and that home is going to be worth $450,000, $500,000. So that's the kind of thing that you have to think about. And if for all those people who want to get into real estate, you don't have to go to a auction site. You can go to a tax deed sale. You can go to another auction site. A person sent me a message today about landwatch.com. I went over there and checked out some of their properties. I think they're a little bit overpriced, but they do have some deals on there, it seems. So if you're into land, if you're into buying property and real estate, you don't need credit. This is one way to do it. All right, let's see. What else do we have going on here? Perry B, welcome to the live stream. What about the Blink, the charging company for Tesla? Oh, Plug? I don't know who you're going to be talking about, but yeah, any supplier to Tesla, yes, that's also a good thing to buy. Just like when Elon Musk said, hey, I need nickel, that's when I started looking for investments into nickel companies, because he needs a large supply of nickel for the batteries. So again, that's going to be an upside. And then since there's new EV companies, more EV batteries are going to be out there, electric vehicles. They're going to have batteries, so they're going to need nickel as well, and also possibly lithium and palladium, all kind of stuff that they're going to need. And these are the things that you could actually invest in now, because for the next 10 years, there's a growth side. So why wouldn't you do that? It makes sense. Just like I tell everybody to do Nokia and Ericsson. Nokia symbols is NOK. Ericsson is my name, Eric, ERIC. I invested in those. I told people 2, 3, 4 months ago. So again, these are the kind of things, and I'll show people online since we're talking about stock investing. You can see it here. Nokia it's unbelievable. Let's see. Let me get it. Okay, add the stream. Here we go. Here's Nokia. And people would think Nokia costs an arm and a leg, but it doesn't. It's $4.97. So, and they send you 2.26 in dividends. So every 3 months, I get a dividend from Nokia, while I'm sitting here waiting on the upside, because they deal with 5G. So I'm going to sit there and wait for 2, 3, 4 years and see what happens. But look, let me show you something. So in March, when it went down, when we were talking and trying to tell people to buy it, it was $2.43. Even in April, it was $3.27. Who doesn't want to earn 25, 30% on your money in less than like 3, 4 months? I mean, this is the kind of thing that you have to think about. And I'll even show you Ericsson as well. Here's Ericsson. So here, they're looking like they're going down. But let's go last 6 months. Look here, again, in March, when we started talking about it, was $6.95. April, $7.80. $8.32 in May. You guys who have been members and subscribers, even when Curtis Davis was on before as special guest, I've been on here on live streams and regular videos telling you to buy these. I'm not saying it's going to, it's going to win all the time, because nothing wins all the time when it comes to investing. But you're trying to be in the 5G space. That's where we're trying to be at. These are the companies. They're companies that have been around for a long time. And so they have invested in the 5G space. So therefore, their stocks should rise. And as you can see, it has risen over the last 3, 4 months. So these are the reasons why you invest in companies and technologies that are coming out. All right. Thank you, Perry B, for the question. Thank you for being here too. Check it out. When it was at 12. That's right. So every now and then, that's how it works, man. Target is trying to compete with Amazon, and they're not too far behind. Exactly, Lord Trees. Exactly. I agree with you. Target is one of those companies that you should be thinking about investing in if you haven't already. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, don't get confused. If you have Robinhood, in case you joined us lately, if you have Robinhood, you can buy fractional shares. So if you don't have the hundreds of dollars and you only have $50, you only have 75, you can buy $10 worth of a share, $5 worth of a share, $25 worth of a share, but you got to get in the game. And then you invest every month or every 2 months, even if it's $25, it doesn't matter. As long as you invest, it's the long term. In fact, here's something that you guys are going to be, you're going to be kicking yourself. Now, I told people about NEO 2 years ago. Okay, NEO 2 years ago, when it first came out as an IPO, we were all giddy because it went from $6 to like $13, $14. And at that time, we already made double our money. So what I told everybody I said, hey, why don't you take some of the profit and then why don't you leave some of the shares in NEO? All right. That was the first move you could have made with NEO. The second move you could have made in NEO was 4 and 5 months ago when I told people invest in NEO. 4 or 5 months ago when the stock market crashed, NEO was $2.39, $2.76, $3.50. Look at this. This is in May. It was still $3.37, $6 in June. And now look, $18.50. So if you would have sat there and said, okay, Eric, I'm going to trust you, get a few shares at $5.59, that's 230% on your money. Again, people say, how do you pick stocks? It's based on, you have to do your research. Oh, Blink is the charging company. Okay, I haven't heard of them, so I'm going to have to check them out. Thank you, Perry B. But this is why you have to do your research. If you know NEO, NEO is exceptional. I think they have something that's cool. You can pull into a gas station, which I'll call a NEO gas station. They change your battery in 5 minutes. So can you imagine you're running low and all you have to do is go to a charging place and it swaps the battery without you even getting out the car underneath? That's incredible. And so they're in China, but they're a company and they have the technology from Google. In fact, Google invested in them. So they have the technology for some of the software. And so therefore, if they can get their price down and if they can sell their car in the rest of the world and they can actually pull it off, they're going to be just as good as Tesla as far as what they're going to be worth. So if Tesla's going to be worth 7,000 to 10,000, surely NEO is going to be worth 500. You follow what I'm saying? 300. I mean, that's the way I look at it because they're in the EV market and they're already well ahead. They're not a startup company, not anymore. All right. All right. Bink, is that BLNK? Let's go look at it. Let's talk about it. You know how we do it on the live streams. We don't play. Let's go see what BLNK is. Blink Charging Company. Wow. Perry B. Thank you, man. This is going to help out a few people, and they're in Miami. Let's see what's been happening. Oh, look at this. Some people are loving life. They bought the shares under $2. Up until June, the shares were under $2. And even now, it's come back down. I like it. I like it. Thank you for the heads up. I'm going to check further into it, but I actually don't even have to check into it. They're Blink Charging. I don't know. I'm going to check into it a little bit, but let's just say I'm into the EV space. So I'm going to, at $7.30, that's like a Starbucks drink. That's like a combo meal at McDonald's. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. You can't throw in $50, $30, $100 and buy some $7.30 shares and then hold on to it long term. And by the way, since we were talking about taxes earlier today, let's talk about taxes with stocks. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people, oh, by the way, hold on. I don't know how I forget this. I don't know. I don't know how I forget this every time. Please hit the like button down below. Whoever's on the live feeds, please hit the like button down below. I forget to do this every time after I'm on here for like an hour, hour and a half. But again, please hit the like button. But speaking of taxes, people, when you buy shares of stock, if you sell those shares of stock before 1 year, you're going to have to pay 25% tax. All right. Now, of course, you have to have profit versus loss, but any profits you have, you're going to have to pay 25%. So this is why you want to do long-term investing over a year, because if you sell after a year, you only pay 15% in tax. Huge difference. So that's why I, for one, you guys have never heard me talk about doing day trading and short-term trading, because the real deal is, even if I make, let's just use a simple scenario. Let's just say in 1 day I made $100. That's fine, but the problem is I owe $25 in taxes when I sell it because I didn't hold it for a year. So just keep those kind of things in mind. And that's the thing that people don't think about. They think that, oh, I made, I bought this at $25. It went up to 100 today, so I made $75 a share, but that's not really the case. They have to pay $25 a share goes to tax. So they still made a nice profit at $50 that day, but 25% went to the tax. So that's kind of hefty. Versus if you held the stock for a year and it actually kept its gains, you would only owe $15 in tax. And when you start doing that, going, okay, we have, X amount of shares, and now we have $5,000 worth of shares, that starts being a significant number, because either you're going to pay $750 in tax or you're going to pay like $1,250 in tax. Big difference. And that $500 that you're saving could be $500 that you invested in something else. So that's all I'm trying to say. So think long term when you're doing this, and don't panic. The stock market goes up and the stock market goes down. Pick your best companies, and when the stock market goes down, buy more. 1%ers don't lose. Buy more. All right. All right. Yes, Lord Trees. All it takes is 100. That's all I'm saying. Curtis Davis, good man. Nokia and Ericsson. I own them as well. They're cheap enough. I mean, what more can you say? BRTRS, welcome to the live stream. I'm glad to see you again tonight. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Oh, Perry B, great job, man. Where were you like 4 months ago? I didn't know nothing about Blink. I was thinking Plug, PLUG, is one that I chose to invest in. So thank you so much, man. I'm glad you got me on Blink as well. I'll be joining that party. You can be part of the future for $7. That's right. That's right, Curtis Davis. You couldn't have said it any better, man. That's exactly right. Just it. So if anybody else has any questions or anything regarding taxes, and not that I'm a professional, remember, anything we do here, I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm basically just telling people we do common sense here. All right? That's all. We're not doing rocket science. I'm not going through the stocks going, hey, this is what their debt to income ratios are. We're not doing any stock analysis. What we're talking about here is common sense. If you know AI, artificial intelligence, is coming, then you should pick AI companies. If you know autonomous driving is coming, you need to pick Ford. You need to pick Tesla. You need to pick companies that are in that autonomous driving space. If you think 5G is going to be a big time thing, then you need to be in 5G companies. Common sense. If you think online companies like Amazon is still going to be doing what they're doing, along with Tesla, with Target, along with Walmart, all these companies have billions of dollars at their disposals. So therefore, they can buy up the little companies and give them $500 million just to buy up their technology. So they can move fast by buying up these small, innovative companies. And out of nowhere, these same companies just get more powerful. And so therefore, this is why the tech space, the NAS in the world. All right. So what else do we got here? Anybody else have any further questions? Anybody have any questions whatsoever? Because tonight I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. We're already in at an hour and 30 minutes. And once again, if you haven't downloaded the Webull and Robinhood app, please do so now, because when August 31st is the last day to get a Webull free share of stock just by signing up. And I'm going to put the link in for Webull again, because these are the kind of things that you don't want to miss out on. It's free. It's not costing you anything. And then you can go in there, click on the free app to get your link to share with other people. And when other people sign up, you receive a free share of stock. It's that simple. All right. Now, there's what else have I missed out on this evening? I don't know. We've talked pretty much about everything. We talked about stocks. We talked about taxes. We talked about self-employment taxes. So if you missed that portion, it's at the beginning of this feed. So you can always go back in the feed and check it out. This with StreamYard, it's going to take a few hours to upload on YouTube. So sometime tomorrow it'll upload as a video tomorrow on YouTube. So don't forget to watch it if you missed that portion some way, somehow, so you can go over your taxes and don't be scared. And if you have any questions, you can always hit me up at Eric@StopStrugglingNow.com. All right. So if you haven't hit the like button down below, please do. All right. And if anybody else has any questions, I'm about to wrap it up for this evening. But I appreciate everybody coming, and I appreciate your support. I really do. And I thank you, everybody who's given some input, some insight. And just like Perry B tonight mentioned Blink. And now people have another perspective on another company that they could possibly follow and invest in. And it could be wins for all of us. And like I said, I'm going to be on Blink tomorrow because I believe in the EV space. All right, Mar, I want an LLC. What is the site to get one for free, please? Mars, what state are you in? You just go to the Secretary of State site, and that's where you get your LLCs. Oh, yeah, at the Secretary of State, you search to make sure that the name of your LLC is still available. And then you go to the Secretary of State site and you put in your information and you pay on that site. New York, New Jersey has a little bit different way they do it. They don't do Secretary of State, but it's okay. That's pretty much what you do. AI. Okay, I'm going to show this on the screen. It says Al. Alabama. Is that Alabama? Okay. Maybe Curtis Davis can chime in, but with most states, I've never dealt with Alabama LLC, but with most states, you just go to the Secretary of State website, and then you look for LLC, and then that'll tell you how much it is. In fact, let's do it this way. You know, I like to do this for real. We'll do it for real. Alabama, let me see if they have Secretary of State in Alabama. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to pull this up on the screen real quick so everybody can see, so we can so I can show everybody. Okay, so I did a search. This is Alabama Secretary of State. You see LLCs are already here for you, so all I have to do is click on it, and then it's going to take me to their website. Let's see. It cost $100 to get an LLC. That's good. Filing fees, Secretary of, that's foreign. Okay, so as far as the Alabama, it's $100. I don't see a problem there. All right. Records. Let's see. So you got to look it up. Make sure you have the name. Since I've never been to this website, I don't know where to go. But I don't see where they're going to have it. But let's just go to their homepage. Here we go. office, website, Alabama, secretary. Let's see here. On their website, you're going to have to go look over here yourself because I can't find it. Oh, wait, maybe that was it. Record searches, notary, land, trademark, athletes. Nope. Yeah, I don't see it on their website readily available, or what they're going to call it, but you're going to have to go search on their website. And I would have thought it would have been under their LLCs because that's normally where it is. But here we go. Online services. That's probably where we need to go. Maybe this is a search over here on the online services. UCC, there we go. I believe that's going to be it. Oh, here we go. Business entity and name search. So there you go, Mar. So this is where the search is, and you can look under entity name, which is going to be your entity name, right? So you go over here to the search, you put this in, like I'm going to put this in, right? Clearly, Stop Struggling Now, LLC. Let's see if there's one in Alabama. No match. All right. So let's call it mobile, because there's mobile companies all in most places. Let's see. See? So we got Mobile, because there's Mobile, Alabama, of course. So you got Mobile in Baldwin County, Mobile Gulf. So this tells you everybody with that Mobile name. So if it says exist, you cannot use that name. If it says dissolved, the Mobile and Gulf Railroad Company, if you wanted that name, then you could have that name because this says dissolved. So hopefully you got to see that, Mar. Hopefully you saw that, right? All right. So yeah, Curtis Davis lives in Alabama, or I don't know if he still lives there, but he's familiar with it. So that's all you have to do. Go here, look for the name. Now, once you find out that the name's available, then you just go over to the LLC. And I don't know where the page is, but you go back over to the LLC site. And I don't know if Alabama allows you to order your LLC online or not. But either way, it's pretty simple. It's not that hard. And that's for free. Basically, it's cost you $100 apparently that you're going to have to send them or pay online. I don't know how they do it in Alabama, but that's a brief description on how they do it over there. So hopefully that helps you up. All right. Did you see that, Mar? M-A-R-R? You want to put real estate in your kids' names. Okay. I mean, you can do that, but I don't know why you would do that. Because the LLC is an entity. And if you have properties, you should put let's call it Alabama Properties. That's what the name, you're going to call your LLC Alabama Properties LLC. That's what you should be buying it under. And then you get to have tax write-offs because it's an LLC. And then you protect yourself also for limited liability. So that's how you should do it. If you're talking about putting it under Jane Mar LLC, you can do it that way too. But I don't really like doing it that way. I like to have an entity, a true entity, because I don't want any dispute about so somebody can pierce your corporate veil. Because there always are something that's going on with properties. And people like to try and sue people, especially homeowners or property owners. Yeah, Georgia you can do online. Florida you can do online. California, you generally got to go down to the Secretary of State. There's a few other places. A lot of states you can do online. Texas, things like that. All right. Well, Mar, hopefully that helped you out. And you saw it on screen, how we went to the Alabama SOS, Secretary of State website, and you can at least look up the name. And then I don't know the procedure past that point, but it'll be on their website on how you order an LLC and what you need to do, whether you have to send in the paperwork via mail or if you can do it online and pay online. It's that simple. You don't have to pay anybody to do it. And then you go get your EIN number. All right. That's the next thing you do. You go to irs.gov, get your company EIN number, and that's free. And then you go to Dun & Bradstreet, DNB, D as in David, N as in Nancy, B, and you go get your free Dun & Bradstreet number for your business. And it'll have their EIN number added with it. So then that way, if you ever order anything from companies, you give them your Dun & Bradstreet and your EIN, and you start building business credit as well. So hopefully that helps you out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, does anybody have any further questions? Because we're going to close this out this evening. And I want to thank everybody who's on the Facebook group, who's on Twitch, who's on YouTube. That's right, we've expanded the live stream, trying to get into some new territory. And if you haven't hit the like button down below, please do so. And if you would like to join to become a member of the channel, please hit the join button and sign up. You get special emojis that you can put into the chat, like Curtis Davis can hit special emojis. He can also, you'll see that insignia next to his name. So again, that's the kind of thing that you can do. And then I send people special messages, members special messages, and I also do special videos for members only. So that's one of the little treats that I add to that, and that helps support the channel. So if anybody doesn't have anything further to ask or anything that they want to know, now's the time to bring it up. All right. I don't see anybody else putting anything else in. So all I want to do is I'm going to end it this evening, and I'm going to say thank you once again, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And as we always know, I end it with, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. That's why if you check the channel, we've always been talking about streams of income, different streams of income, whether it's real estate, whether it's the stock market, whether it's online marketing, whether it's FBA courses. It doesn't matter. Whether it's Alibaba this evening, AliExpress, it doesn't matter. We're talking about making money in different types of ways, by going to real estate auctions, by going to tax lien sales, tax deed sales. There's all kind of ways you can make money. That's the beauty of America. You have to participate. If you want to be a 9-to-5er, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't act like you want a better life. Don't act like you want to be somebody special and you want to be a top 10%er, because if you work for somebody else, the odds of you being a top 10%er is slim to none, unless you're in the financial industries, unless you're doing a startup. Because if you're working 9-to-5, you're only going to make so much money. An employer can only pay you so much money. This is why you have to monetize yourself, get yourself some extra streams of income, because that's how you move into the top 10%ers. And that's why we're talking about a lot of things. Investing, we're talking about. We're talking about how to create LLCs like this evening, because all of this is important if you want to make additional money. And that's the only way you can truly be free, is when you have the time to make additional money. If you work 9-to-5, if you work 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, you rarely have that extra time to make yourself the equivalent of the money that you're making now. So you have to start small. You work 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Spend an hour a day on yourself. Get all your online marketing going. Sign up with all the online places such as YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. Create a Facebook page. You can do it. Nobody's stopping you. This is the wild, wild west. This is the best time. Nobody's stopping you. All you need is internet access and a desire to make money, a desire to earn extra income, and it's available. And if you ever need any questions answered, hit me up. I don't have consulting fees. Eric at StopStrugglingNow.com. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.